Hey everyone, so gonna shoot out a quick update video here of the Sea Reefer 525. So I haven't been able to do a whole lot of videos. I think the last video I posted was in the midst of building the cabinet. I've been posting my progress on my Reef to Reef account, but I haven't really had time, guys, and I apologize to do a lot of videos lately. So unfortunately, instead of kind of videos of this getting built up, this is going to be the 1 month update. So I'll kind of do a quick rundown of everything that's currently running, how the tank's doing, maybe a couple of future plans. I do plan on doing a couple spotlight videos just on some of the equipment, the lights, but those will be to come in the future. I didn't want to make this into a 30-minute video, so I'm just going to kind of do a brief overview. So again, guys, to start, this is the Sea Reefer 525. I still have not put the side door on, as I'm still doing some wire management and hanging some of the power controllers and everything in there, so I didn't want it in the way, but I do have the door. It does come with a third door, don't worry. I bought the deluxe model with the white cabinet, so it comes with the 3 AI Hydra 26s. I will just say briefly, I wish Sea had the 2 color-coded system. So they give you the option of the white or black cabinet. We already know the AI Hydras come in white or black, so I wish Sea would have thought about that. Maybe do like a silverish mount and then give you the white AI Hydra 26s. But that's kind of nitpicking at this point. I mean, you got the black kind of back of the tank vinyl that's on there. I did not take it off, so everything still kind of blends in. I'm not extremely dissatisfied with it, but that's just kind of my 2 cents. I wish Sea would have done both colors. Going here to the middle, so I did do the line lock split return. I probably went a little bit of excessive. I do have the full section, so this is 2 full sections over here. Vivid Creative Aquatics adapter, so I took off the stock adapter. That's just a standard Y line lock adapter, and then 2 pieces of the 3/4 inch line lock. And then trying to get a decent, so that's kind of what it looks like at level. I have it tilting a little bit down to the water line and then towards the back of the tank. Maybe a little bit better view there. Just because usually, you know, your back corners over here tend to be the detritus accumulators and the dead spots. So since I already have the 2 MP40s, I figured why not just have the return flowing towards the back of the tank. And honestly, there's not a whole lot of buildup in this tank so far. So like I just mentioned, guys, I am running 2 MP40s. The controllers are over there in the cabinet. So currently I'm running reef crest mode at about 50 to 60%. I think it's the dot right past halfway. This one here on the left-hand side, I pretty much have center and approximately 1/3 of the way down. If you look at the overall water line, it's about 1/3 of the way down. I may drop it a little bit more, just because I do have a little bit of, a couple inches I could drop it before it would just be blowing water right into the rocks. I obviously want to keep it above the rock line. And then the one in the back there, guys, I have closer to the front, just because, again, it would be hitting this rock, so it's going straight this way. So this one I may move down and actually closer to the back, to get maybe more of a better flow pattern. If you have any feedback or suggestions on that, I would greatly appreciate it. Just standard regular size flipper cleaner, that's what I'm using. May have to go one size up because of the thickness of the glass. I've noticed that this, it does lose its connection easier on this tank. I had the Sea Reefer 250, as you guys know. I used this on as well, and it was fine, but this is much thicker glass. It's worse on the fronts. The front pane is a little bit thicker than the sides, I do believe. I might be wrong. But yep, that's for the cleaning of the glass. And honestly, guys, I haven't had to do a whole lot of cleaning. So there's 2 things I'm really dosing right now. This is for, I'm gonna use this as my last bottle. So I did this just a little bit of laziness. So I didn't have to dose 2-part. This is supposedly a good mix. Red Sea's Reef Care recipe thing recommended it. It seems to be giving me though consistent KH, calcium, magnesium levels. So honestly, it's not that bad. But I do have a dosing pump, so I want to make use of it. I'll probably get rid of all my bulk reef supply, dosing stuff first, and then I'll go to the Red Sea A, B, and C. And then I'm also dosing Nopox. So I do 5 milliliters a day in this tank, and I checked my water parameters this morning, and I'm still at under 5 nitrate, 0 ammonia, phosphate was at 0. So overall, guys, I mean, I will be honest, I have not done one water change on this yet. Most people will probably shun me for saying that because, you know, part of the cycling process, you get a nitrite, then a nitrate spike, and you do a massive water change. I started dosing Nopox day 1 that I had this running. I actually dosed a little bit heavier. I was dosing 15 mil a day, but then I was running into issues with my skimmer. So I dumped it down to 5 milliliters a day, and I'm still keeping consistent 0 levels basically, and nitrate being under 5, I'm very happy with that. And right now I only have a handful of invertebrates and then 4 fish. I have my blue tang, my clownfish, my purple tang, and my platinum clown. So that's pretty much it for the top of the tank, guys. Over here in the, we'll call it the wire mess cabinet. So I tried using command strips, as you can see back here, to put my 2 controllable power strips on there. It worked in my other tank, it didn't work on these walls. So I'm gonna have to, there are screw holes on the back, which, look, I was lucky enough for that. So I'm gonna have to physically mount those to the wall just to make it look cleaner. Starting in the top left, so that's the Toonsy controller. So I am using my own auto top-off container. This is a 10-gallon Trigger Systems auto top-off container, purchased through Bulk Reef Supply. I have my 1 dosing container here, and my other one will be right over here that will contain the 2-part alkalinity, calcium, magnesium. There are the 2 controllers for the MP40s right now. I am running these also in anti-sink mode. So I think I said Reef Crest mode. They maximum at about 50 or 60%. The Reef Crest does fluctuate. So right now it doesn't look like it's at 50, 60%, but between the 2 controllers, they do fluctuate back and forth. That's why it looks lower. And again, based on the orange, I am in anti-sink mode. Going back up here, this is the controller for my return pump, which you guys will see in a minute. I am running the Jabo DCP 10,000. It's showing the wattage right now, but I believe I have it at about 70 or 75% out of 100. Over here is my Phoenix controller, so I have the 800 watt titanium. So that's hooked up right here, and then the controller hooks up right there. I've seen mixed reviews about this one, guys, but I'm really happy with it so far. So it has been within plus or minus 1 degree ever since I started this thing. Fair warning though, this controller does have a min and max alarm on it. So if your temperature gets too low, it'll set off the alarm, and same thing for too high. Now, for anyone that's starting off a brand new tank, unless you put heated water in the tank, you're more than likely gonna have your normal cold RODI mixed water. I believe the stock min level is about 68 degrees on this. I could be wrong. So right off the bat, as soon as you plug this thing in and turn it on to start heating the tank as you're cycling, you get your return pump on, that alarm will go on, and it will stay on until it gets above the minimum alarm. But you can change that. So you can go in there and you can just, I think it down at 50 degrees. And then I went back after the temperature was accurate in the tank, and I put it back to about, I think 70 or 72 for mine. I keep mine at 78. I'm very happy with that. This is my Coral Box Wi-Fi doser, 4-head dosing pump there. Right now, again, I'm only dosing the Nopox out of this container, so it has its own separate. I swapped out the tubing, so I am using the stock valve. I've had no issues with them, but I did swap out the tubing. The stuff they give you is really cheap. you know, it's all bent up, and I found just pressure loss in the line that led to leaking and all that stuff. So I went to PetSmart and got a couple boxes of the mini airline tubing, and it seems to be working really well. I don't really have any major air bubbles in the lines or anything like that. I've been checking the calibration about once a week, and it's been spot on. I do the 10 milliliter calibration on this thing. I would like to do a spotlight specifically on this unit here in the future as one of the spotlights, but again, more information to come, but feel free to ask any questions you guys have. So that pretty much wraps up this cabinet. I do have an under cabinet light here, really nice. I mean, you're not going to really be able to see it via the video because I have daylight coming in here, but at night, got these off Amazon. Not quite sure of the brand. I actually saw these from a fellow YouTuber that I subscribe to, who had these under his cabinet in his Red Sea Reefer 250. So it's a great idea, and I decided to use it myself. So now we're gonna swing over here into the main sump, guys. Opening it up. This is where I might actually need to use this light. Again, I got another one right there. So this is the completed manifold. Return pump, straight up, a couple 45s, and then this is to be determined, so that's non-functional. This is the T for the carbon reactor, and then it goes down and back up for the return. Probably a little bit overkill in this section right here, which I'm losing a lot of head pressure on. But the nice part about it is I have a framework now, and it's not that expensive to rebuild one of these. Might be a pain, you know, with having the water flowing out through the return here, but needless to say, I'm happy with it so far. Still kind of playing around with the return pump speed. I think I mentioned I'm at about 75%, but I'm not really good at figuring out the head pressure and flow rate based on feel of the tank. I mean, right now the fish seem happy. Everything is basically clean, so I'm not too concerned. This right here is the return tube for the auto top off, the Toonsy. So I basically just have a couple zip ties over here, and it goes on a couple command strips back up there. It is a little loud. I probably could have kept the line longer and just had it go down in there, but what I didn't want to do is have it in the water and create a possible siphon back. So for every, like, I don't know, half hour it turns on for all of 10 seconds, it's not that bad. Then you can see back there is the controller for the Toonsy with the water sense and the emergency stop there. I did take off the stock float because I have no purpose for it right now, so that is in the stock auto top off reservoir in the basement. So again, guys, this is the bulk reef supply, just single reactor. I'm only running carbon. I have it plumb straight from the manifold, and then it just dips back down into the main sump chamber over here. Bubble Magus Curve 7. So I had quite the battle with this one when we first started it off, but now it's running really good. I couldn't tell if it was just, I thought it had broken in very, very quick, and then as I started dosing the no-pox in the tank, when I was doing 15 milliliters a day, this thing was over skimming like crazy. So I was like, okay, so maybe it's because the no-pox dose is too high. And on another note, when I first was dosing no-pox in the tank, I was dosing it in the display next to the power head, versus now I set up the actual dosing tubes here as I plan on putting the other ones in. So being so close to the return and the skimmer, I felt maybe that was part of it too. So I was going to go back to dosing in the display. I was like, yeah, I read some things online, and you know, people said once you get the colony started, you don't really need to dose as heavy anymore. So I'm dosing actually technically under what Red Sea recommends for this volume of water, but it's been working for me. But as you can see, nice dark brown sludge it's taken out. I love the fact that it's got the drain here. So you know, you can clean it maybe once a month, once every other month. but you just pull off the little plug here and you can drain into a cup, and you never have to really turn the skimmer off, take the cup off, because this one isn't really a screw on like a twist. It's it's got a couple like O-rings, and you just shove it down in there and it's sealed. It's at about 1.5, a little bit, probably more than 1.5 is the setting I have it now. And it is approximately 2 inches off the bottom of the tank. So I have two 1-inch Marine Pure blocks that it's sitting on, and it's been working really good getting this dark skimmate out. I am using the Anything acrylic filter cups. Sorry for the glare, guys. There we go, that's a little bit better shot. So I have basically a little under halfway filled with pond matrix in there, and then I just put a little bit of filter floss up top. Change them out every 2-3 days, and it's been working really good. I love these a lot better than the filter socks. I will probably never use filter socks again. The ease of just taking out a little bit of filter floss and shoving some back in, especially not having the reservoir over here, which I may with possible plans for a refugium, but it's super easy. Just pull it out, put the new stuff back in, and you're good to go. So that's pretty much it for under the sump here, guys. I do have just a couple other rocks from my previous tank just to help when I cycled it. I did use Biospira from Instant Ocean on this tank, and within a week I did have levels adequate for putting livestock in. So I had my fish in here roughly 8 days after I first turned on the return pump. So anyone kind of thinking, I know Tom's One and Only is very popular, Fritz out there, but I have used Biospira on my last 2 tanks with great success. So again, my numbers, prove it to me. I'm not worried about the health of the fish. I'm 1 month in and everyone's doing fine. I did have one loss, and that was my cleaner shrimp, or skunk shrimp. He ended up in the FAR MP40. Not sure if he just didn't make the transition from tank to tank, or at night just swimming around and accidentally just got sucked up in it. But yeah, that was unfortunate, so I still need to get another cleaner shrimp. But everyone else has survived. All the inverts, my shrimp, the fish, everyone's happy. Get a little close-ups here. There's my purple tang, blue tang, platinum clown, and there's my normal clown. So that's it for now, guys. Again, just wanted to make this kind of a shorter introduction video. I plan on doing a couple more in-depth videos here on some spotlights of the equipment and just some more experiences I've had with starting up this tank. By no means was this 100% easy, even with this being my 3rd tank. So I definitely want to share some of the experience I had, like I said, as well as do some equipment spotlights. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please feel free to leave your comments, suggestions below, and I will definitely get back to them. Thank you.